Hi, this is Alex Helmbrecht, the Sports Information Director at Chadron State College, and I'm sitting here this morning with Chadron State head football coach Jay Long. The Eagles had a successful start to the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference season, earning a tough 41-30 victory at Colorado Mesa. It was the third consecutive road game for the Eagles. I believe who've traveled 8 states in 3 weeks. A trending Twitter hashtag of the team is Road Warriors, and that's certainly something the Eagles have been the first 3 weeks. Of course, the first game was a 33-6 setback at Montana State, one of the top Division I AA schools, and then a great 19-7 win at Angela the week before, and then this was followed with a 41-30 win at Colorado Mesa. Really a game that counts because it's in the RMAC. And Coach, I know you got to be happy with the way the season's going so far.
Yeah, when you look at it, our guys could use a lot of excuses this season and early on in the season with having to travel so much on the bus. I think we added up we're over 5,000 miles on the bus in the first 3 weeks here, and our guys, they know that that's just what we do. The Chadron State football playing in the RMAC, that we have to play road games, and you just got to be able to go out there and adapt. And basically our routine now has been get on a bus on Thursday, go eat a lot of buffets, and get there Thursday night late, and then Friday eat another buffet, and then on Saturday, play the game, and then we come on back after that. But like I said, I'm extremely proud of the way our guys have played these first 3 weeks, and it's something we need to build off of as the season progresses.
I was talking to a friend of mine before the game against Colorado Mesa on Saturday, and he asked me, how do you think the game's going to play out? And I said, well, with the familiarity between the two coaching staffs, I see a pretty tight first half, probably going to be a defensive struggle. That certainly wasn't the case. The Eagles scored 14 points in the first 5 minutes. Then Colorado Mesa came right back and tied it up. And the Eagles score 14 more points, and then are driving for a third touchdown to go up 21. And Colorado Mesa runs back an interception for a touchdown for 75 yards. 28-20 first half. Did the game play out how you thought it was going to?
We kind of thought on offense that we need to score some points, and when you look at it, defensively we had a good game. On offense, we had 2 turnovers, which both provided 2 touchdowns for Mesa State. And when you look at it, Coach Stein and Coach McLean and the rest of our offensive staff did a great job game planning. We wanted to go a quick tempo, and we ran over 54 plays in the first half on offense. And it was a hot day, and when you look at it, our offensive players, fought through that, and I thought we started out with a spark. The thing that we coached about was we can't keep letting teams back into the game. We got to finish them. And when you look at that, offensively, how many yards we had and how many plays we played with 86 plays, it was a good productive day. We just got to continue to finish.
As Coach mentioned, the Eagles did run 86 plays. They went for 552 yards. John McClain was 30 of 40 for 324 yards, 4 touchdowns. Glenn Clinton rushed for 98 yards. Michael Madkins rushed for 96. Both of them scored touchdowns. Cody Rose caught 2 touchdowns, and Nathan Rust caught 2 huge touchdowns in the fourth quarter as the Eagles were kind of on a comeback. Colorado Mesa took a lead late in the third early in the fourth on a very short field goal to lead 30-28. Coach, obviously there was a lot going into this game with both Coach O'Boyle and Coach Auer, who've been at Chadron State for so long, being coaches at Colorado Mesa. Russ Martin, who's the head man, and his son Ben Martin both have Chadron State ties, and so there's just a lot of familiarity there. Obviously a lot of emotion involved. Couple that with not a lot of things went right for the Eagles other than these great offensive numbers. There was a long kick return that Colorado Mesa scored on. As you mentioned, they scored on 2 turnovers. Couple that with the fact that you guys overcame all of that and still got the win on the road. Are you thinking that this was one of those games that kind of could be a turning point of the season, a turning point of the program?
When you look at it, I think it's just Eagle football is the biggest thing when we talk. What is our program about? And remember when I played, we had a shirt that was "Find a way or make a way to win," and that was kind of the way we did it this last weekend. We found a way, to overcome the obstacles and get that win. And when you look at it, it was hot on that field, and our guys just ground through it. And at halftime, they had momentum. Mesa had momentum going into the half. We came out, we turned over the ball the very first play on offense, and then defense. Then they turned in, they scored off of that turnover, and after that, I thought our guys settled in and just played Eagle football, and we executed on both sides of that ball, and I was really proud on how the guys finished, and at halftime we talked about it's hot on both sides of the field, and it's going to come down to who's the mentally toughest team, and when we look at that, that's an Eagle trait. We got to be the toughest guys on the football field, and I thought our guys finished strong that second half.
It was certainly exciting. Probably final 20 minutes of the game. Colorado Mesa was driving down to score a touchdown. I believe it was on third down, and Lane Haller got an interception in the end zone, kind of switched the momentum back to Chadron State. You guys drive down, and I believe then a field goal was blocked on that drive. Mm-hmm. And so things weren't going very well. Mesa comes down, scores the field goal to go up, but then Nathan Ross came alive. He had already had a decent game up until the fourth quarter, but John McClain found him on touchdown passes of 37 yards where he zigzagged all the way through the sideline, received some great blocks downfield from Chapman Hamm and Travis Reeves, and then to put the game away on a 54-yard pass from John McClain where he just really climbed the ladder.
Yeah, when you look at there's highs and lows in every game, and you look at plays that are sparks, sparks that ignite the team. And Nate Lane's interception was a big spark, and then that next spark was when Nate caught that big touchdown pass. He made a guy miss, and he looked very athletic out there running. And the other thing that was a huge positive is we rushed for 228 yards, and when you couple that when you can run and pass, that really makes the play calling easy, for the guys up in the box, and that was something that I thought that our guys reacted well.
Well, as I mentioned, the Eagles are 2-1 overall. More importantly, 1-0 in the conference, and the conference play continues this weekend with another familiar trend. A coaching staff coming to Chadron with CSC ties. Jazz Baines, who was a graduate assistant and a special teams coach for the Eagles and really kind of helped found the Eagles' special teams tradition and carrying out the hammer and a bunch of different things like that, is now the head man at Western State. He's in his second year. His offensive coordinator, Tony Case, was a graduate assistant here. Their quarterbacks coach, Ryan McDonough, was a graduate assistant here. And Mike Imoni is their D-line coach, played here and also coached here. So it's going to be another one of those games where both guys know each other.
When you look at it, when I was at Black Hills, I hired away John Reiners, and I took away Jeff Larson, from Chadron. And when you look at it, Chadron's been one of the top teams in the conference for so long, and schools want to mimic that and get guys from our staff. And when you look at it, Western's got some great guys on there. Those guys are both the names you just said are all personal friends of mine, and there is some familiarity to it, and which is nice when you're talking schemes and drawing cards and those type of things. But the biggest thing is just like we told the guys last week is as soon as you go hit that first play, it doesn't matter who's coaching. It matters about you winning the battle across from you and playing hard for the guy beside you. And that's what we got to do again this weekend. And our guys, I can't say this enough, our guys are so excited to be at home this week, and we're looking forward to having a great Eagle crowd there. We've been on the road a lot, and we're ready to change routines and stay here over the weekend and play at Western State.
Adding to the great atmosphere, it'll be family day where the players and their parents, if they come to the game, are introduced before the game, and as well as the trainers and cheerleaders will be recognized. Real fast, Coach, just about Western State. The Mountaineers are currently 0-3 on the season. They lost last week to their homecoming traditional rival, Adams State, 43-14. Before that, they played 2 non-conference games against Texas teams in the Lone Star Conference. They lost to Angelo State 42-14 to open the season, and then they lost to West Texas A&M 57-20. What type of team is Western State? With Tony Case being there, they've kind of been a spread attack. They were last year, and really, honestly, they played the Eagles probably one of their toughest games last year.
I would say when you look at them, on defense, they're a 3-4 team. We call it a 34 or 52 front, I guess. And Jazz, who's been the defensive coordinator there in the past, they bring a little pressure at us, and and then special teams are going to be sound on special teams. Then offensively, you're going to see a lot of we're going to look a lot of same on offense. We run the same formations, same packages, and a lot of the same plays. And when you look at that, that obviously helps with things like I said in regards to putting cards out there, but it still comes down to our guys got to beat their guys up front, and we need to execute and do our jobs. And if we do those things, I think that we should have a good day.
Well, and I know, as you mentioned, your team's excited. I know the community is excited. Finally, a home football game here. But for you, it's been 13 years since you've walked onto Elliott Field as a player. What's it going to feel like walking down there as a coach?
When I got this job in February, that was probably one of the most things I thought about the most. What it's going to be like to walk out run out on this field on game day, and it's really hard to put it in words. When I first got here, I went and I took my kids out to the field, and I said, "This is Chadron. This is where we're coming to," and it was a real special moment for me, and I can't wait to run out as the head coach. It'll be exciting, and as soon as I run out, then once that first hit goes, then it's back to playing football. But I'm sure it'll be a great feeling. I know the last time when I walked off that field as a player, we got a win and walked off with my buddies. That was one of the toughest days of my life. So it'll be a kind of a great turnaround to come back out and as the head football coach for the first time.
All right, Coach. Well, that game kicks off at noon, and as I mentioned, it's family day. There'll be plenty of festivities going around town, so if you're in the area, be sure to attend the game. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, and those of you guys that are listening out there, please show up and support your guys. They've been busting their butts, and they're ready to show what they're made of. So thank you.
All right, Coach.